Hi, everyone. So today I thought I'd show a little bit of a very easy, very useful diminished and augmented run that you can use almost everywhere. Very easy to do. So let's get right to it. Uh, First, the diminished run. And as you know, a diminished chord, let's say we're doing a C diminished 7, and it's made up of all minor thirds. And there's nothing wrong with doing just that as a run, say on an F7, a C7, or on a E7. First I was a tree, I was petrified. Sorry. Anyway, now YouTube is going to say, oh, you have copyrighted material on there. That's another video. Anyway, so, but I guess if it's a satire, does that make it copyrighted, or is that? If there's any lawyers out there, I appreciate your comments. Anyway, back to the diminished. So I've got this diminished run, okay? Barry says, why not put 3 half steps, fill in 3 half steps in between 2 of the chord tones. So you end up with something like this. Okay, a little faster. Okay? What if we do the same thing, but instead of between these first 2 chord tones, the C and the A, let's do it between the A and the F sharp. This one is, and again, fingerings, depending on, obviously there are 3 different diminished chords that you can do, and each one you'd have to work out the fingerings. In this particular one, I like putting my thumb on the G. So that gives me a little speed. That way that thumb comes down every time. Thumb, 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 thumb. I'm sure there's other ways of doing it. Next iteration would be between the F sharp and the E flat. I kind of like that one a lot. Let's say I'm doing a C7. It wouldn't work on. Well, I could. It can work on a blues. We could do it as actually on a D7. And we'll get into putting them into tunes in a little bit. And it's crazy. You can have so many possibilities. But let's just finish out the iterations. So we had one between the first 2, the second 2, the third, and now the final ones between the E flat and the C. Okay? Now, so that's it for the diminished ones. And of course, there are 3 diminished. So you can do it on a C diminished, you can do it on a B diminished, and on a B flat diminished. By the time you get to the A diminished, you're already repeating the C diminished. So B diminished would be. That was the second, third, fourth. Okay, that's for B. B flat would look like this. Sorry. One more time. See, if I put 4 on the B flat and then 4 on the E, that won't work. I have no idea what I just did. Try with 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2. And then 4, 3, 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. That's a good fingering. And again, fingering wise, it's a matter of preference, but also I really welcome suggestions. If you guys got a cooler way that you like to finger this, throw them in the comments. That would be awesome. Okay, where were we? Second permutation. That's really easy. Third permutation. And fourth. Okay, and that was all of them. So now let's look at augmented, and then we'll look into how to put them in songs. The augmented, if I had 3 half steps in between each chord tone in the diminished, then it makes sense to use a triplet rhythm. Triplet, 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 right? With augmented, I have 4 half steps between each one, so it makes sense to use a 16th note rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Now, what Barry did in class is he comes back, doubles back, and that sets you up on the next chord tone. So the run looks like this. It's a very cool line. Do that all day long. And then I got to thinking, well, now I don't believe to my knowledge that Barry ever talked about this, but I got to thinking and saying, hey, what if I take the same approach of permutating the chord tones on this pattern and see what happens? So if I take the second 2 chord tones, the A flat and the E, I end up with this. And then I got to double right back up to get to the next chord tone. So the run looks like this, 1 E and a 2. That's a very pretty one. And then the third one, again, only 3 now because we've got major thirds instead of minor thirds dividing the octave. This is a nice one, actually, because then you come up the chord and you get the next chord tone down. Okay, so let's do. There are actually 3 other ones. So we have a C augmented. Let's look at the B augmented. So that would be. I like to actually go, put the pinky on there. Pinky. This kind of reverse fingering is useful at times. Again, please throw your suggestions in. What would be the second one? That one's cool. Take some practice. The second one, third one, I should say. That one's kind of cool. And then you have A augmented. So that would look like this. I guess if I'm going fast, I would probably go. I'd try to tuck my pinky under and get the chord. Of course, I can't do that on the black note, but then it's easy to do a more traditional fingering. Pinky. 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 Second permutation. This one. That one's a little easier. Okay, there are 2 more. I guess I won't do them in the video, but what I will do is I will post transcriptions of these in C. on my Patreon page for my generous members. Let's take a look at how now to apply it. So let's take, for example, Body and Soul. My heart is sad. Well, what is that? That's a diminished. And lonely. And I could do it here too. Okay, so that's kind of conventional sounding. I could also do the augmented here. My heart is sad. I could treat this D diminished, right? That's actually the third of a B flat 7. And for more information on this, take a look at the video on diminished family, which goes in depth into how that all works. And I'll probably post some more videos on this because there's so many permutations of this and implications of this kind of thinking. But again, as per the diminished family, I can think of the D diminished as the third of a B flat 7. And then I could, or I can mix and match any one of those permutations. And lonely. All right, I don't know if that was the right one, but so now we're talking about augmented. So let's take a look at what I can do. So now I've got actually a B flat augmented on that chord. So my heart is sad and lonely. And I could do the same thing on the A flat. The A flat 7 can also be an augmented, and the tritone of the A flat, the D7, gives me a nice sharp 11 with a C augmented triad. So I could put all of those permutations on both of those chords. My heart is sad and lonely. And now I could go or for you I cry, for you dear only. And here's a regular diminished chord. Pick a chord tone and pick a permutation. I tell you, I mean it. Now, here, a minor 7 flat 5 is an interesting animal because sometimes I like to put an augmented triad on the flat 5, which gives me the natural 9th. That's like a borrowed note, right? It's like an E flat minor 6 with a borrowed diminished note. Which I could just make that a triad, decide not to resolve the borrowed note, and there's my augmented lick. And then of course my F7th with the augmented, I can do that lick there too. So my heart is sad and lonely. For you I cry, for you dear only. I tell you I need it. It just gives you so many ideas. What other song could we do? You know, if I should lose you. So there's obviously tons of diminished here because lose you is a diminished. The stars would fall from the sky if I should lose you. You can apply all of that diminished stuff there. to the downbeat of the chord that you land on. So in the key of G minor, you do the diminished, the F sharp diminished for the G minor. The stars would fall from the sky. I should. Now I've got this. The A diminished here. Or E flat diminished, really. It's just an E flat diminished. Now, for the dominance, there's your augmented. If combining it. And here again. Okay, so I hope that was a launching pad for some ideas on how to use these two very, very simple licks and their permutations. Just filling in the diminished, filling in the augmented. And all different ways of doing it. So hope that was useful. If it is useful and you like this content, please consider visiting my Patreon page at patreon.com/Isaac Roz, where you can find transcriptions, exclusive videos, and other things. Make sure to like and subscribe and tell all your friends. And, and I love to hear the comments, again, fingering suggestions, places where you like to use it. Please don't be shy. And looking forward to the next one. See you guys soon. Keep swinging out there.